Hi everyone, this is Phyllis Y. Whitley, and if you have been spiritually victimized or traumatized, welcome to Spiritology Live, where I bring my #1 Amazon bestseller book to life. Each episode will be a raw, spiritual, metaphysical, holistic space of consciousness for self-healing as you learn how to break your religious shackles so you can master and manifest your promised land within. Let's go. Hi, everybody. We came off of part 1, episode 55. We are going into episode 56, part 2, because what we had last time, it was dynamic. It was excellent. Okay. And I really taught you with relationships how to come out of the hallway. If you didn't hear it, you must go back and listen to that. Also, if you don't know me, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new to my podcast, I have a lot of podcasts and it's really going to help you. At the end of the day, I'm trying to show you how to let go of everything that is, I call it religious shackles, because a lot of people literally just don't know they've been hurt. And I deal with the spiritual realm. And that's why I said religious shackles, because religious shackles really are all the negative people, places, and things that went into your ear gate. My mission is for you to go ahead and live your promised land today. So with that being said, all the newbies, and even if you've been listening or you just listened to the last podcast, please go back. I got some good podcasts. One of them is, I'm going to name some of them. Episode 39, Are You a Jezebel or a Virtuous Woman? Episode 44, The Truth About Death, Church and Psychics. Oh, that is deep. Yes, it's deep. How about this one? Episode 49, Be Prepared and Get Your Passport Ready. It's about time travel. Oh, yes, I speak about everything. We have Help I Am Stuck, Change the Man in the Mirror. Remember Michael Jackson, late Michael Jackson? I do everything. Let's go way back. Wait a minute. I just want to get you excited. I mean, are you excited? Because I'm very excited. When I listen, I actually go back and listen to some of these and I'm like, did I do that? You'll be surprised when God got your tongue. You can literally pull out so much wisdom. I had one, let's talk about money. Episode 17, Release Your Debt Cycle. And it's changed your life play. It's all about your play. With that being said, today we are going into part 2. And we talked about being stuck in a hallway between doors. Some of the other words you can use in a hallway is entrance, concourse, waiting room, corridor, walkway, foyer, lobby, and entryway. What is the meaning and the purpose of this? I mean, so you can just have an idea, an example of this. It's a connection from and to. It can be a hallway that leads to the bathroom. Y'all remember those days. Now they got the bathroom inside the suite bedroom. It could be when you in the hallway between classes. You got to go up the stairs and through the hallway, and you see a lot of people passing by. It's that escalator, the flat escalator or the stair escalator. When you're going from one floor to another in the mall, it could be you going to the airport. You trying to go to America airport or with the planes at. And then you might be trying to go to the restaurants and you got to go through the hallway, when you're at the airport. So now that you got a grasp of what I'm saying, you can picture the hallway. Let's go ahead and look at also it's a place. The hallway is also a place where you meet like-minded people or you really don't meet like-minded people. I call it the enemy of life. Dead. It could be dead. Doubt, delay, distractions. I stay with the D's because the D is the devil in there. And I'm not here. I know the church said the devil this, the devil, but I teach you to look at yourself. The late Michael Jackson said, "The man in the mirror." I'm not saying it's not an entity of, how they say Lucifer and all of that in the spiritual world. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying to you, he said, you choose life or death. Some people want to worship Lucifer, and then some people want to worship God. It's your choice because he didn't make, last time I checked, any robots. With that being said, so you got like-minded people. I think in a hallway, the longer you stay and you start meeting people that made the hallway, made a bed in the hallway, we discussed that in part 1. You better run. In this episode, we are going to go a little bit dive deeper into what's going on in that hallway. In that hallway, like I said, people stay in the hallway. The 2 doors, if you haven't listened to the last one, please go back, stop this, and go listen to the first part 155 episode. Those 2 doors is your past, and then you got your future. So one is behind you. We also went through the scripture about Lot's wife. If you know about what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, really, that was God pure anger. And he just said, let me just destroy everything. Remember, he has the power. So with that being said, he said, whatever you do, do not look back. Isn't that a metaphor of God talking to us today? Please don't look back. Well, Miss P, I really don't know. I don't believe that. Really? All the people that sit in the psychiatrist chairs and make them wealthy? All the counselors who are overbooked? You don't believe people can be stuck? If you are one of those people who are fruitful and you are constantly moving, because you're going to have your hallway, but it's what you do in that hallway. We're going to put more emphasis in that. What happens in the hallway? Because if you're moving constantly, you going down the right road. I also talked about the late Kobe Bryant, who had many coaches and counselors. You need those people, and it could be just sound people in your family. If you got people in your family who are stuck in a hallway, why are you listening to that? I have in one of my podcasts considered a source. Is that source don't have a life play? I use that as Broadway compared to just the corner store. Sometimes they off Broadway. They're trying to make it, and some of them will help you. Some of them will say, hey, come with me. We'll do it together. It can be family. It can be loved one. It can be a relationship that can be very dangerous. You ever know about those relationships? Or maybe it was you. I'm not going to tell nobody. Where you was trying to move through the hallway, but your man or your woman just didn't want to go. Listen, it doesn't mean if you're trying to be a doctor that you desired a wife who was going to be a stay-at-home mom. Okay? She don't have to go through the door of medical college, but what her role would have to be, whether you're a stay-at-home, it can be either way. You chose to be a stay-at-home dad, and the woman literally say, I'm going to go to college to be a surgeon or a psychiatrist. Think about that. Your job, even though you are going through the hallway with them, is to make sure you lift them up so they can have focus on that goal. Even though you are not going and specializing in that. So you can have somebody who lifts you up, that literally divinely come into your life. That relationship, I have heard and witnessed with my own ears and eyes of people who are trying to make it and they have no support. That can be family, or that can be your loved ones, or that can be your so-called friends. If you got that friend always singing the blues and just look like they just dragging down, you better be careful. And this is where jealousy, this is so important, because jealousy and envy come because you're moving and they standing there like, oh, you shouldn't. And some people will walk through that hallway just to tell you, don't walk through this hallway. They can't go through that door because you go and you graduate. But they can make sure you don't go through that future door. I want you to see it. You got your past door behind you and your future door. We talked about forgiveness metaphysically, holistically. I'm not going to give you what most of the church give you. Forgiveness, you forgive. Think about it. You gave them all their drunk, all their, shit. And you say, okay, yeah, I forgive you. I'm really giving it to you. You understand? It's not knocking in their door. And I'm so sorry. And you calling somebody that hurt you 50 years ago and they said, I don't even remember I used to bully you. I don't know who you are. It's all done within. That's why God said he searches the heart, make every man a liar. God look at your heart. In your heart, forgive is letting go. When you tell them to come, when you're remodeling or rehabbing a home, or you just doing redecorating your kitchen, they come and get all the old stuff. And then you know what? You don't want it to sit there. It starts smelling. It starts stinking. It starts decaying. Now, also, this can be for your health. Physically, people just don't want to let out the shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean no harm. I'm telling you, I understand. And if you don't want to let it out, you don't want to eat and then let it out, that decays and smell. How do you know? People in the living room or in the other side of the house can smell after you went to the bathroom. People get constipated. You can become spiritually constipated. Oh, that's the next podcast, I guess. And what happens is that inside you turn into a diseasement, which is a disease. The reason why God always have forgive is because he's saying, I don't want that junk to stay in you, because even the shit packed up in your body is going to cause a manifestation. What happens if you don't believe me? Take some bread or take some pork, put it somewhere in your garage, and I guarantee you what you will see when you go back in there, you'll be like, huh? That's why I discuss about death. Your people, loved ones are not in there. If they pull up that casket, you know what they're going to see? You're not going to like it because their body is not in there. Critlers are in there. I know that hurts. Some of y'all just don't get it. See, that's why I'm here to tell you the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So we discussed that. We discussed the space between. It's a connection from and to. That forgiving is giving it to them. Here, I bless you. He said, bless those that persecute you. I bless you. Here go the junk. They have to pick up the junk. You have to go to the bathroom. Most illnesses from, I'm constipated. And then you take a medication that the body is not familiar with when God have everything in the earth. That's physical. Well, Miss P, what do I have to do with cornbread and gravy? I don't know. I help you. I said spiritual, metaphysical, and holistic. I do all of that. Body, mind, and soul. Whatever you do on spiritual level or whatever you do on the physical level, the physical level is coming from everything that's done in the spiritual because it's spiritual. The spiritual realm is first. That's why God said in the beginning, the earth was void. So whatever's going on in your ear gaze, your five senses, is going to manifest. People say, I want to manifest this. I want to manifest that. I want to manifest that. I don't want to hear no more of your talking. I just want to manifest. Yeah, but you got to make sure that you get rid of the ilk, the shit, whatever you want to call it. And that's forgive. Here go the dumpster. And here you go. I have nothing to do with that. Let it go so you can move through the hallways of life. Okay? You don't know what the hallway is. I done told you that. What happens if you say, you know what, Miss P, how do I know? How do I know? I think I'm doing good. You might be doing good in certain areas, but you might be in debt. Financially, you're constipated. Somebody gonna get that. Some pastor or something on here is gonna say, I got me a sermon. I know I give a lot of sermons out. Y'all don't think so? I'm telling you, that might be a book. You're going to start hearing it all over YouTube. With that being said, you can't be. Let's think of the hallway as constipation. And you say, oh, he did me wrong, she did me wrong, I'll never get married again. Guess what? You still got that back door, the past door, propped up. And I have heard a lot of females when I counsel them, they say, I mean, I would desire, I want to meet my soulmate, I want to meet my life mate, I want a husband. And I meet some men that I counsel, I want to meet my wife. But, and then I sit back and I know what's coming. But what? I never forget one lady said to me, well, first I got to get the food that's in my house out my house. I was like, really? You got somebody in your house, but then you sitting up here praying to God to give you, really? Give me my soulmate? Really? A lot of y'all have a boyfriend and you got the nerve to talk about it. A lot of y'all have a girlfriend. The men have, Miss P, that's not my girlfriend. That's friends with benefits. Some people keep friends with benefits to keep their flesh, satisfy their flesh till they meet that special someone. So I'm not here to tell you that part, okay? I am not your pastor, okay? I'm not here to tell you that because I can't tell you that because, pastors, when they drill on that, oh, you sinning, you did this, you did this. Today, they are doing the same thing. That's why to this day, I'm like, wow, you got to really give people a hand when they practice celibacy, but it's a practice. Literally, because your flesh can go bloop bloop. And when I see so many pastors talking about, oh, I'm not, dating no, I'm like, wait a minute, we need to find out what's going on here. Are you in the hallway just thoroughly satisfying your friend? You see, that hallway can be dangerous. Well, Miss P, I don't know. Let me not give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. Just come on, come on, come on, come on. Walk with me. I'm walking you through the hallway. This is why you need a coach. What happens? You will go in circle if you stay in the hallway. Do I have your attention now? You ever notice that you just go in circles? I've been here before. I've seen this before. I've seen this play. You ever look at the reruns? Your life become a rerun. You know how Hallmark have like maybe in the wintertime they got all them love stories. You probably don't know because I love stories. And I just watch it over. And then I watch the next one. It's like, well, that was the same that happened over there. Reruns. Some people love reruns. I'm not gonna lie, I love my reruns, but I don't want my life to be a rerun. Do you? Look at this. It says moving in circles. This is what I wrote down for you, the wisdom. Do you want to go in circles? Think of it. You in the hallway, you left the door slanted open, and that can be your man living in your house, the woman you lying to, and she thinks that, you living with her for 15 years and she just don't understand why you are not going to put a ring on it. Maybe this is your third marriage. I don't want to laugh. Sometimes third is the charm. And then you have people that I met somebody that was married 4 times, and I was like, ooh. And this person was trying to talk to me, and I was like, And I really think they said it would have been a 5th time if the next time, and they really wanted to get married. You know what the problem was? Now, see, I could have stayed there and dealt with this person, but this person wanted to talk to me as a potential relationship. And I was like, no, because see, I can talk to you, but it'll be a counselor, you know what I'm trying to say, relationship. Because that person really needed help. When you see somebody popping from marriage to marriage to marriage, yeah, it's different if somebody died. It is different if that first one in your 20s you messed up. But when you get to 5, 4, almost saying 3, you need to get some coaches. Remember the late Kobe Bryant? He had many coaches. I believe in different coaches. Remember I was talking about that? You can have a coach for finances. You can have a good counselor, mentor who show you who's versed in all of these different things to literally help you, coach you in finance, coach you in spiritual discipline, coach you in different areas. You understand what I'm saying? You have to have somebody that's there. In that hallway, God will give you divine connection. Okay, that's where you meet your divine connection or you meet your enemies. Doubt, debt, distraction, and delay. With that being said, that's why you have to have your eyes on a goal. That's why. Because see, you can't look. Lot wife, I told that last time, look back in the past. That's a metaphor. God trying to say, you know what's going to happen? You're going to become a pillar of salt. What else happened when you stay in the hallway? Deja vu. Remember I was saying go in circles? You ever got in a car and you was lost and you just kept going around and you came back into the same stop sign? I laugh here because this is comical because, you have to look at this and say, wait a minute, now I got you. That's the way my life feel. Deja vu. You ever been someplace? You ever went into a relationship and the person, maybe they verbally abuse you? God help if you let somebody smack you. And you got out of that. You think you got out of it because you got the door half shut. Or they do. You letting them do it. You literally turn around. Oh, I want somebody. Bless me with somebody. And then you go ahead and you meet a divine potential to be your husband or your wife, whatever. And what happens is you are no good to that person because everything they do, it triggers you. If they lift their hand to just rub your face, you jump. Guess what? You didn't let go of that past. You get what I'm saying? Or you meet somebody and they turn around and say, pop, and you look and you just like, wasn't I here before? Verbally abuse you. And you saying, wait a minute, this is familiar. Different face, but same spirit. That's why I do body, mind, and soul. It's all connected. Singing the same song, the blues. You can be in the hallway and you just playing the blues. Or why did she leave me? Why did the next one leave me? I'm just sitting here minding my own business. I like country. I don't know how to sing it. They make some money off of that. It could be that. I don't know if that was the blues. It was country blues. The country songs. I love country songs. You sit there. It's like sitting here minding my business. And you still treating me wrong. But when I go down the street and meet him, he treat me wrong. Oh Lord, send me someone, but I can't forget the one who did me wrong. I know. Enough. I know you don't turn the podcast off. I'm trying to tell you, you know that song. You remember, some of y'all don't remember this, so you don't need to go back. Teddy Pendergrass, close the door, baby. And he wanted to do all kind of things for you. And probably gonna finish your door, then go to the next door. You understand? You get what I'm saying? You I'm saying you singing the blues. You singing the country song on the same. Go listen to some country songs. They are talking about their pain. Yes, but do you stay in your pain? The hallway is you stuck in your pain. You didn't close the door, or you got to be very careful. That person will not close the door. And that's why if you was in an abuse relationship, you got to get out. You got to really just start all over. And you don't need to look at the door in the front of you saying, oh, I just want somebody else. No, yes, God can give you that divine person to connect with. But don't you think it's fair that you got rid of I'm going to say the shit that I talked about before? It's unfair to pack your body with all kind of food like Thanksgiving. And you at the beginning of Thanksgiving Day, and you did not go to the bathroom. Only thing gonna happen is your stomach gonna blow up, pounds gonna come on you, more fat gonna come on you, you're gonna feel bloated, you're gonna feel full, and in some cases, you might have an accident or the food may come out your mouth. Do you see what I'm trying to say? when you overdo something, when you understand you have to release it. You have to release it mentally, spiritually, and it will manifest good things physically. Okay, let's go to, you don't believe me? You know I'm going to go to a scripture. James 1:7-8. And I did want to say most of my scriptures are coming from the New King James Version. So I forgive me if I didn't say that in part one. With that being said, it says, "For let not the man think is that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways." A what? A double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. You know what this is? Here go the greatest wisdom for you right now. Hey, preachers, pastors, you got something, evangelists. Let me tell you your next sermon. Double-mindedness. You are literally got both doors open. Remember I said you got somebody living with you, but you want God to bless you in the future with your husband or wife, but you didn't let go of the other person? You trying to skip that whole way. You notice that? When people have two doors open, you're trying to skip it. That's double-mindedness. You stuck there, but you're looking in the future. You got to be careful. Double-mindedness. You see the bad, you see the good. Double-mindedness. You literally double-minded because you are carrying the regret, carrying the shame, carrying the unforgiveness, and the hatred. And you got all this load of, you know what, SHIT, and you carrying it to the future. Now, some of you literally let go of the past. You had to, you was forced out. The person got up and left you and married somebody else, or you just was escaping with fire. But you took all of their stuff. You know what they call that? Baggage. You ever go to the dating site and they said, please, no baggage. Everybody gonna have a little suitcase because that's your life. But you can learn from all of that. You remember Felix the cat? You remember Felix the cat, his bags of tricks? You can have your bags of tricks to learn from them. Y'all hear that? But what happens, you in the hallway and running, then knocking down the future, and you got all of this luggage from the past. You are no good to the next person, and it's unfair. Wow. Miss P, is this why he's always talking about his ex-wife? Miss P, I keep meeting the same people. You know why? You carrying all the baggage. So you attract who you are. Listen, I didn't have that one in here about as a man thinketh, so is he. You are meeting, remember I said in the hallway, like-minded people. If you got a lot of junk, who are you going to meet? This is why when you married, I have talked to people who said, I'm having an affair with this person. So they got one door open and they like having an affair with this person and they saying, he understands me. Really, how do he understand you? He understands me because, he'd been through the same thing and he just want peace and he just want that. And we can relate on the same thing. Guess what? You meeting somebody that's like-minded. And I have had people call me, females call me, and one in particular left her husband. I might have said this before. And literally because this person that he was living in the hallway and he was just telling her everything that she wanted to hear and they was more compatible. And this is where I said in the hallway, that person is not moving at the same level as you. And that can be a problem too if they are not, if one is a stay-at-home dad and you are trying to go to become an engineer. Their job is it's a hard job raising kids, number one, but their job is to lift you up and help you make it through. And in return, you have to know that it's all right that that person chose to stay home. If whether you're going to have kids or not, you have to acknowledge that and be ready for that. You can't go back to that person and say, you nothing. You knew what you had when you met her. It doesn't mean anything. Everybody's not going to go to medical school with you. So you can move in a hallway and have somebody linked to you. I'm not talking about behind you, but have your husband or wife linked to you, and they are the motivator. They are your calm in your storm to get you through those doors. But you got to go through the hallways. Do you understand? And there will be other hallways, but you can't bring all of this. What happened to her is she left her husband, and then the guy he was married. Oh yeah, they have that. He was married, and he did not leave his wife, and she was out there in the hallway by herself. So you have to know when you get into a relationship, where is this person going? And is it all right if I come with him and not be in the same field? This is why some people a doctor prefer to meet a doctor. You get what I'm saying? Lawyers marry lawyers. Athletes marry athletes because you can walk through that same door together. So you got to be constantly moving. Okay? This is what he's talking about, double-mindedness. That junk, you need to get rid of it in the hallway before you go to the next one, because you are going to say, I'm living deja vu. I'm going in circles. Yes, here's the key. You can't have both of them. No. You can't not have both of these doors open at the same time. You know why? In the hallway, you're getting your associate degree. In the future door, remember, if I have to, I'll re-say it. One door is the past, one door is the future. And on the cross, it was the past, the future. In the middle was the presence of God, was Jesus, was represent the presence of God. You have to be present. You have to realize that you have to make what's best in that hallway, that present day, because your present is really tomorrow. That's why investment is so important, because you are investing today, but it's really going to manifest a harvest for tomorrow. That's why some of y'all are in debt. Listen, I've been through all of this. I am always trying to expand and be fruitful and produce. You do it. How long, Miss P, do you do that? You do it till it's time to expire. Some people that make it to 100, they don't be looking at their goal ain't to die tomorrow. It's they had this man, my daughter gave me a YouTube on this man, and he made it to 114, and he wrote books. I think he wrote his books in his 70s, if I'm not mistaken. So really, that hallway should be a stepping stone to cross over your enemies. Remember that God said, I make your enemies your stepping stone. Your hallway could be stairs. You got to get out of the hallway. When you move from one home to another, it may be a time that you're still paying rent in the other home. So that's the only time you need to have two doors open, because you have one more month on the lease. But once you cleaned out and closed out, some people do it slowly to the other. Sometimes you carrying stuff, but it's good stuff. Just like your knowledge. If you get in your associate's degree, in some cases, you might leave that door open because you're carrying that knowledge to go get your bachelor's degree. Get what I'm saying? Even as you specialize. I always talk about education because it is in wisdom. Because wisdom is, you're going to find it in education, but you can specialize in something. So you want to get out of the hallway and open the next door. It will be hallways. That's where you will meet your enemies. That's where you will meet debt, doubt, whatever. Right in the hallway. But what you want to do is a waiting room to get to something. Don't let it be a resting place. Well, I went on this one, did I? Let me end in this. What happens when you come out the hallway? For this episode, I am so happy that we are finished. Guess what? You will be stepping into your promised land. You will be in the promised land. Do you understand? Miss P, do that mean I don't have to go through these little hallways again? Yes, you go through it, but the hallways will be shorter. You might not even realize you just gonna be jumping over like a sprinter. Here go a hallway, jumped over, and you just going. Life is movement. Well, Miss P, what about retirement? you can retire. I feel physically, you might not do what you did in your 30s, but I feel you should always be moving. You should taking traveling. You doing something. You should always be doing something with your mind. Do all the things that you skip. Go learn a new language. Go learn more stuff. I don't feel, and I can tell you, think about your aunt, uncle, grandmother, whatever, who just retired, had their kids left, empty nest, and they just sat there. Their mind just starts shrinking. They left that idle. And this is where you see a lot of people in poverty. They just don't know. They just sitting there. They in the hallway. They I don't know. I didn't do it in my 30s. I'll never do it. I ain't doing it in my 40s. I believe you old when you get in 40s. No, let me tell you something. Keep moving, and that's your promised land. Contact me if you need help coming out of your past. I can help you close the door, and I can help you get to your promised land. Thank you for coming to my space. I went on and on and on, so I'm going to make this so short. Please go ahead and get the book. Tell people about my podcast. I don't know who you know, and that's your first step in helping somebody else. What's new? All my books, all my t-shirts. Go and have fun. Go to your family reunions with the t-shirt. Blow up my t-shirt. Blow up my book for me, and you shall be blessed. And remember, if loving yourself is right, you don't want to be wrong.